Welcome back to Front and Center with Jacquie Jordan.
My spirit guides, they love to get things right.
Welcome back to Front and Center. I'm Jacquie Jordan, and we're joined here with Stephanie Cobian, Phillip Andrew Barbb. We are the show where the change agents, the storytellers, and activators from behind the scenes affecting collective narratives take their seat with us front and center. Today joining us is Kimberly Meredith. We're at the Conscious Life Expo at the LAX Hilton, and she's going to be one of the speakers here. And she's a medical intuitive who has had 2 near-death experiences that woke up her gifts. Watch out there, Anthony Williams, medical medium. You've met your match. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you so much for joining us.
There you go, an intro.
Describe what you do as a medical intuitive. To me, you're a living radar machine. You just walk around meeting people.
Yes, I do. I absolutely do that. I can see through people's bodies, and I do that by just taking my hand and waving it across their body from, the top of the skull all the way down their body, energetic field to their feet. And I just sort of compute that through my eye blinking. So my left eye will say when things are good, and my right eye says when things are absolutely not good. And with that, I get the downloads of saying that, your breast may have cancer, you have a tumor in your brain, or it already was there and was removed, or your appendix is gone, or your spleen is infected, or you have pancreatitis. And so I don't need any information from you at all. Nothing.
And your results and your success rate in doing that, you're confident in your...
Yeah, it's 100%. Yeah. So the guides, spirit, communicates with me, and since this happened to me, which has only been a few years, it has sped up even faster.
With that, with the waving, is that the only way it's able to access? Because it feels like if that was always coming at you, it would be difficult. If you were always reading everyone, it would be hard to control. So is that what activates it for you?
Can you turn it off?
No, I'm also a remote viewer.
Got it.
So I can be in an audience of 1,000 people like Tyler Henry, and I can just walk out and also get downloads of people just by remote viewing. So I can pick up information off somebody without waving too. So I do Skypes also throughout the world, and people come on through a Skype session, and I can just look at somebody also with their breathing. I can pick up information off somebody just through their breath. So after I do the medical intuitive part of my work, which is helping people know where everything is inside of their body, then my guides like to go in and helping people understand they can also heal their body.
And your near-death experiences
Yes.
really were the trigger point to bringing this healing gift online, which is really what it is. And I'm going to also qualify when you say frequency, the way I hear that or can explain that outward is so we're all operating in the bandwidth of this radio channel to access that capacity. You're operating up here on a different radio channel frequency, and that but it was brought on by your near-death experiences. Can you explain that or tell us or share that with us?
I can.
Because you had not 1 but 2.
Yeah. There's no way ever I could be experiencing the experience I'm experiencing without having that experience, because I never could do what I'm doing right now, which is this, I say, sort of super sort of Harry Potter energy that I'm doing. And I like to say that because I can't get too serious about what I'm doing, because it would make me get too wound up in that energy.
When we had started the show kind of with this idea of where a lot of times you have people on one far extreme and people on another extreme, and then for people in the middle, they're a little unsure, right? I'm sure for you have your experiences and you've experienced it, so you know it to be true 100% to you. There's people that have not had those that feel like they
or
hear
it's like
these
the
things,
church thing
and
where
they
they're
don't,
like,
yeah,
you've been
they don't,
healed.
yeah, right. So my
my
question for you is, you have the luxury of, you've experienced these things, you know that they're real for you. How do you explain it to someone? Not that says, hey, I don't believe in any of it, but how do you explain it to someone that's never experienced something like you have?
To be honest, I didn't even know any healers before this happened to me. I was a girl that worked in nursing, I was also in the entertainment business. I used to set up shots for Grey's Anatomy and all my children and all that. I didn't even know about all this stuff, And then all of a sudden I have all these guides and all of this, information coming at me. And I do consider myself a starseed kid because when I was young, I did have a lot of paranormal abilities, but I didn't know about all of this stuff. But my spirit guides, they love to get things right. And they love to scan people. And they love to help people be healed. And they love to teach people that they can heal, you can heal yourselves. Because it is so miraculously beautiful. At the same time, they want everybody to learn to do it. For me, I did have healing abilities as a young child. My eyes were blinking at the early age of like birth to 7 years old. And then they left because I forced myself to make them leave. I had a conversation with the source to make them leave because I was teased a lot from the blinking. And I was just different, and I didn't want the teasing to go on anymore and the stuff that was happening to me. But what happens is that I feel, and what's going to happen more for people out there that are listening, is that whatever you really are and the truth of who you really are is going to happen. So what happened to me is that in 2012, I had an accident, and then I had another accident, and it emerged into who I really am right now. And who I am right now is a multidimensional being. And in the multidimensional being that I am, I have many gifts. And some of them are very interesting to people because hundreds and hundreds of people come to me daily wanting to know what's really going on with their body. They may go to get an MRI and a CT scan and all of these blood tests, but still don't have answers to what's really happening to them.
Because medicine is so fragmented.
Right.
I've got a girlfriend dealing with a stomach issue. She said to gastroenterologist, and then the medicine, they meant to send her a heart person. And it's so fragmented. There's no wholeness.
Right.
There's no wholeness in a lot of medicine.
Exactly.
Even though it
Right.
works and serves a purpose.
Exactly. But to go back to your question is, how did I accept, like, I don't know if you asked me that, but how did it just kind of happen to me in a short little thing? I just was willingly to accept spirit to come into me after the NDE and say, yes, I am ready to accept the gift that I was given. And my eyes started to blink again as I was when I was a child. And then I became a trance channel through that.
Was there any, as you had your near-death experience, and I know, because I'm curious if you would share about what happened, if whatever you're comfortable sharing with it, but then how quickly after you had that experience, did it just all of a sudden come on? Was it something where it was like a slow, you started noticing more things, or was it like it immediately clicked?
I knew when I left the hospital, actually, I wasn't the same person. I knew when I was driving home with my boyfriend that it wasn't me. When I left, after I left Cedars, I wasn't walking the same. I wasn't speaking the same. My voice was different. I didn't feel the same energy in my body.
Would you
So I
call
knew
it a
that was
walk-in
different.
experience for you?
Possibly,
Yeah,
yes.
call it a walk-in experience.
And then when I got home, it just wasn't me anymore. And I was suffering from a head concussion and a lot of body issues because of the accident. Then in the matter of 8 to 9 months, I had started to become a full-blown trance medium.
So when you do, you read somebody, how do you tell them about something that's important to them?
Okay, I'm so glad you asked that. So they come in and they push a recorder on. And they lay down on a table or they can sit in a chair. And I just say, open your hands. And I put them in a sort of a trance by looking in their eyes and saying, breathing and saying, I am love and I am light and I'm in the 5th dimension. And I just start, I'm sort of like very fast scanner. So I'll just start going through their whole body and naming off multiple things that I'm finding throughout their body. And then afterwards, I'll say, did you have this, that? And, I go through the whole entire system and they'll say, yes, you're correct. Wow. And then a lot of times, if it's something they don't know about, I'll say, I suggest you get this checked or that checked or this, or your thyroid seems soft to me, the left side of your thyroid, the right side's okay. They're telling me the left eye, you had glaucoma, the right ear is not well. They're telling me maybe 12 years ago you were hit in the side of your head. The guides are so meticulous. Wow. It's not just maybe your liver's a little bit off.
Yeah.
My guides are just obnoxious.
It's like you're a
They're
biocomputer
really
in your
obnoxious.
body.
They're really, really annoying.
It's like
they
you're a
even know if you've had
biocomputer.
plastic surgery. They're just really
Biocomputer. I see you as a biocomputer using your body as a biocomputer, just doing the scans.
They're just like,
yeah, I totally get that.
Now, who are they? Are those people that were former people that lived on this earth? Are they not of this earth? Are they of something else? What are their origins?
They're of the higher civilizations.
I was going to ask you, is it a Pleiadians?
Yes.
Yeah, you're Pleiadian.
They're the
yeah.
Pleiadians.
Yeah,
they are
fifth-dimensional healers.
Jesus. They're the prophets. They've come back again to help us and to move the ascension.
Can you
forward.
give us their take on the coronavirus then, that everybody's all jacked up over?
Oh my God, you're going to have to come to my 2-hour workshop.
Talk to me. In a soundbite, Kimberly.
No. Well, there's a lot going on with all of that,
Yeah.
actually.
There's
Yeah,
a lot
you
of
can
layers.
ask me some questions about that if you want, yes.
And at the top of the show, we also spoke about the documentary Vax and the vaccinations and the
Yes.
over-vaccinations. I mean,
we blinking God about
that we all have, a lot of opinions, but it's very, it's controversial. As I say, we're allowed to have diversity of gender, diversity of
Absolutely.
sexuality. We're not allowed to have diversity of opinion at all. Right. #2020.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have a lot of people that come to me with their opinions. I have a lot of children that come to me and mothers, and it is a serious situation.
Yeah. It's as bad as we think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And same with the coronavirus, not in the way it's being presented.
That's right, they're saying.
Yeah,
No.
Not in the way it's being
That's
presented.
they're going
yeah.
no. Yeah.
When you talk, you say they. Are you hearing multiple things? Or are they coming as one in a unanimous voice?
Well, there's a lot, and then of course the main is the Holy One,
Okay.
omnipresent, and angels and guides.
So you're going to have a standing room only this weekend at the Conscious Life Expo. I am so sure everybody will want to get in to see that. I mean, that's a really beautiful gift that you are committed to sharing.
Thank you.
And then you can also be found on the Medical Intuitive Miracle Show. Is that still happening?
I do. I have a Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific time and 10 p.m. Eastern time that people come on the show, and I do scan them live on air.
That's amazing.
And then I do healings on people.
This is a radio show?
It's my radio show on KTLA.
Okay, well, we got to get you a TV show.
There you go. They're from a TV
We got to get you a
producer.
TV show.
And your website is the Healing Trilogy, healingtrilogy.com. So that's where
is.
people can find you,
It is
book
the-
appointments,
Yeah.
be scanned. That's a beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your gifts with us and being of service on a humanitarian level in the way that you do,
Yes.
because some people will go back and shut those gifts down. And you're not doing that, and that's really beautiful. And thank you so much for joining us front and center. We'll be right back.
As a lot of people work with their passion, I mean, you're going to get to a stage where there's like lawyers and accountants and spreadsheets, and then like all of a sudden your sweet hobby turns into something else.
If you are doing extraordinary things from behind the scenes, from any walk of life, we'd love to hear from you. Subscribe to us on YouTube at TVGuestpert and/or TVGuestpert Broadcast Podcast. Follow us on Instagram or Facebook at TVGuestpert. If you're ready to write that book you've been putting off, join us at guestpertpublishing.com for a how-to step-by-step online course that shares your publishing options and paces you on how to structure your book.
Alex Detail was a child genius who saved the world from the evil harvesters. But a decade later, this mysterious alien force has returned, and Alex is no longer a prodigy. Now, in order to save the world again, he must survive his kidnapping, fight his evil clone, and get his ship to the planet Pluto, where he will uncover the universe's ultimate power. Alex Detail's Revolution, a thrilling new novel by Darren Campo. Buy online or wherever books are sold.